What's up, guys? Welcome back to my brand new YouTube series called Own Your Shit.
Own your shit.
Own it.
Own it.
So we're here with my man, Troy. I don't know how to say his last name. Troy, what's your last name?
Well, some of my friends call me Troy. Try and pronounce this. But
okay,
we'll go by my real last name.
Troy, try and pronounce
Troy, try and pronounce this. Nah, Troy Triantifilides. It's really not as bad as it sounds.
Alright, so we're here with Troy trying to pronounce this. Personal trainer, owner of Evolve Fitness, right? Is that it?
Troy Evolve Fitness.
Troy Evolve Fitness. So Troy is my featured professional of the day for Own Your Shit. And so Troy, give us a little bit of a background as to how long you've been doing this and kind of what brought you into the fitness industry. Maybe, I don't know if you went to school for it or not, but if you didn't, kind of what steered your direction into fitness.
Alright, well, my background kind of stems from my uncle. He was a bodybuilder, and growing up, I was in and out of the gym with him ever since I was little. And I worked at the gym for a little bit of time. He pretty much taught me everything he knows, from the nutrition aspects of bodybuilding to weightlifting. That's where most of my experience comes from, just being around it for so many years.
Okay.
I actually did not start my career off in any kind of exercise science or anything like that. I was actually an art director for 10 years. Just after that many years of not enjoying what I do, especially as time progressed, I wasn't happy. I found a certain point in my life where I was depressed in every aspect of my life, every corner.
Mm-hmm. How old were you?
How old was I?
How old were you when you felt like you just needed something different? When you wanted to shift?
2014, so I was 34 years old.
Okay. Only 3 years ago.
That's kind of when I shifted my life, yeah. At that time, I was about 300 pounds.
Wow.
Depressed. And what hit hard is what hit hard was that aspect when I realized that specific time when I found out, like when I actually realized I was depressed. You know,
okay.
I wasn't happy at work. I wasn't happy with myself. You know, that just brought on more negativity around my life. I was surrounded by some negativity, and
they're in here.
And Hugh Nelson. Up until the point where I was giving advice to people about eating healthy, living healthy, and I was looking at myself and realizing, who am I to give advice?
Okay.
I was going through photos of myself around a similar time, and that's when I realized, it hit me, that I was overweight for 10 years. Okay. I slowly progressed to being 300 pounds.
So real quick, what would you say to somebody who might be watching that kind of sees, like you just said, it's for 10 years you didn't realize, because it slowly creeps up, and you might say,
You know what it is? I mean, I got married, I got in a relationship with my wife at the time. We got comfortable. All of a sudden we stopped going out, we stopped working out. We started ordering more takeout, more movie nights. Next, as time progressed, the outside world wasn't what it was anymore to us.
Right.
I don't advise that to anybody, to get that comfortable. They just kind of like forget themselves. That's kind of like what I did.
Right.
I kind of forgot myself.
So just be more conscious of what you're doing and what your routine starts to be, because even if you, safe to say,
start a relationship or whatever, life brings you, you want to take care of yourself.
Even for me, I can't say that I've ever let myself get more than 10 or 15 pounds heavier than I want to be, but it's one of those things where you realize, okay, well, I'm 5 pounds heavier now. Well, that's not too bad. And then you don't take that off, and another 6 months you're like, well, I'm 5 pounds heavier than I was.
Listen, I thought of myself as I'm that cute fat guy.
You're fluffy?
Okay, I'm fluffy. I'm fluffy, but at least I'm decent looking, But in the long run, listen, I was very unhappy. It's amazing how after I started finding the gym again and how I turned my life around. I mean, because of my background with my uncle and knowing a little bit about nutrition, a little bit about working out, I was able to lose 100 pounds in 10 months.
It's awesome, brother.
Not that I advise losing that quick anyway, because it's real quick to do.
But if you do it right,
I was at a state of mind that, you know, I needed it to be done that quick.
Right.
You know, I didn't cheat for 10 months. For 10 months, I didn't put not one bad thing in my mouth, you know. My wife hated me for it. We could have a glass of wine together, you know.
Right.
But that's what I needed to get my sanity back. And actually, I felt guilty about it, you know. I mean, I worked as an art director. I worked a couple of hours as a bartender. And then whatever time that wasn't working, I was at the gym.
Okay.
So I kind of neglected my family for a little bit, and I felt guilty. One thing that I do want to mention is, you know, a good close friend of mine, Calvin Smith. He said something to me that kind of just changed my world.
Okay.
He said that I shouldn't feel guilty over that little bit of time that I took for myself, because he kind of used an analogy of an airplane going down. Okay, the stewardess always tells you, the flight attendant always tells you, you know, when the mask comes down,
Secure your mask first, yeah.
before you help others.
Right.
So that's kind of like psychologically what I did. I had to secure my mask. I had to find myself again in order to make my life better at home, which ended up in a beautiful career, which I love so much.
Yep.
And now I can actually help other people do the same thing before they get to the same levels of you know, negativity. So I mean, anything that's negative, I want it out of my life.
Good.
You know, I preach positivity to everybody.
Beautiful. So, like he said, right, you know, you've got to help yourself. And this channel, this video, this series that I'm doing is interviews with health and wellness professionals and business owners. It's about owning your shit, whether it's a business or literally just you looking in the mirror and just owning your shit. Like, stop making excuses. Stop blaming other people. You got to take responsibility. So you got to stop looking outside all the time for other people to make you happy, right? You got to make yourself happy.
I kind of combine my experience with my business. A good part of what I do is I relate to my clients, you know.
So when you say you relate to your clients, so who typically tends to be your clientele then? You have a lot of people that do weight loss?
I have a lot of people. Most of my clients are probably weight loss.
Okay.
I have a couple of clients that want to tone as well.
Whatever toning means, guys, I hate.
Whatever toning means.
Don't come to a trainer and say I want to tone. Like.
Well, yeah. By toning, most of the time you assume that they mean, you know, just, you know, lose a bit of weight, get a little bit of muscle tone,
lean up.
Lean up. Perfect.
Right.
Perfect. But I try to relate to my clients in terms of. I try to put myself in their shoes, and most of the time I feel some of the things that they explain, so I relate my stories to them, which gives me a connection of, I know how they feel. You know, I know how it feels to want food, coming from being heavy, to fight urges, to, you know, having a depression, a depressed time in your life where you just need to get out of it and need some time for yourself. I mean, we all, you know, we have families, we have kids, some of us, and
don't sign me up for that.
A lot of times is, you know, we neglect ourselves in the
Yeah.
process. You know, we sit there, we do so much for our families. You know, we work hard to provide for our kids. You know, that we don't have that 1-2 hours a day for ourselves.
Right.
You know, to this day, I need the gym. You know, I really do for myself.
I feel the same. Exactly.
You know?
And like. So just pointing that out too, and I say this in all my workshops and all my seminars that I talk to people, you know, so you relate very well on the weight loss and on the understanding and the mindset, which is huge. When you're dealing with anybody, understanding how your client, patient, or customer feels creates that better resonance and that better bond for really, truly helping somebody overcome their obstacles. For me, that's tough because I've never been 100 pounds overweight. So I don't really like to work with weight loss clients because I don't really get it. It's not my forte. But from wrestling and 12 years of abusing my body and just breaking down and having cervical issues and tearing my knee and messing up my ankle, like for me, what I like is the mobility, the movement, the therapy, like fixing yourself and not, again, owning your shit, not trying to blame everything on everybody else or go to this guy, and they're not fixing me. So that's huge in terms of, you're right, if you guys are looking for a trainer, if you're looking for an acupuncturist or anybody out there for whatever it is that you might be looking for, make sure that you resonate with them, right? Don't just take the first thing that comes up. So, you know, Troy has sent me people before for what I do specifically, And if I have somebody that comes across my path that wants training or wants something to lose a lot of weight, I've got 2 or 3 other trainers, including Troy, that I'm going to say, no, let me give you contacts of these guys because that's not what I deal with. At
the same time, though, also, as a trainer, always try to advance your knowledge as best you can. I mean, I've taken Chris's workshops. I love them, I've learned some things that he does that, some of my clients won't go to him specifically for mobility, but at least the little bit that I learned, I can incorporate a little bit of mobility into my the weight loss or the program. I do a little bit of boxing as well too, which I got into. At the end of my weight loss, I needed to do something. I want to do something different.
Okay.
My wife was boxing at that time. I decided to try it, and that actually is what opened the doors for me to get into fitness, because that's where I started my career.
So where did you start when you broke in as I'm going to do personal training or fitness as a career?
I started at Title Boxing in Norwalk.
Okay.
The way it happened was, I lost my weight. I lost 100 pounds, and while working out at the gym, I used to get a lot of people come up to me and ask me, how'd you lose this weight? How did you work out? This and that. And just by telling my story, or by seeing somebody in the gym doing something wrong, I'd go up and approach them and say, listen, no, I don't want to offend you, but you're doing this wrong, you're going to hurt yourself. And just by the response I got through that, I said, I kind of see myself doing this for a living in the back of my head.
Okay.
And then, I was at the point, I was at, this gym boxing on, as extra cardio with my weight work. And an opportunity came where there was an opening for trainers. So I said, you know what, I'll try this out.
Mm-hmm.
And that kind of opened the door for me as to get into the fitness industry as a career.
And that was 2014?
And that was
2013,
2014, yeah, 2014, 2015.
Okay, cool.
So I started there, and then what I did was I learned a little bit of boxing, and then I incorporated that with some weight work with my clients. And what I did was I just kind of meshed this big thing of just enjoyable fitness, If you ask any of my clients, I don't stick to just weightlifting.
Mm-hmm.
I try and make it as enjoyable as I can, because I honestly think working out should be enjoyable with it. Your time in the gym, you should not want to drag yourself to the gym. You should want to go to the gym.
Right.
Okay, you really want to go to the gym. It's your time, so you should enjoy it. Why not?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
I agree. Yeah.
So I'll weightlift for my clients. If I see they're bored or I see they're angry, I'll stop my session right in the middle. I'll be like, all right, you know what? Put the gloves on. Let's go box real quick.
Take out some anger.
Take out some anger. Or for boxing, and that's not working. I'll switch it up. If I have a program in mind, and it's just for some reason that day's not working for them, I'll drop it like down. We'll switch it up to something different.
Awesome. Something
that they're gonna enjoy. A hit session, weightlifting, boxing. I don't care. Just as long as you at the end of your session you feel better, then that's my job. My job is done.
Good.
You got somewhere better in your life. You feel better about yourself. I'm happy.
Cool. So Troy, where can we find you on IG? Do you know your IG handle?
IG, Troy_evolve_fitness.
Okay, Troy_evolve_fitness. We're going to throw that up there.
Throw it up there. Facebook, hit me up too. TroyTrentafilides.com or TroyTrentafilides, not .com.
Hopefully I spell that correctly when we throw that.
You'll have the link on the page.
Website? You have a website up and running or no?
My website is www.troyevolvefitness.com. It is not up yet. It's in the process. But we'll get that up for you as soon as we can as well.
Coming soon. Evolving, right?
Evolving.
All right, so you got into fitness. You started it. You like working with people. I was going to ask you what your thoughts on program design were, but you kind of answered that. If somebody's not feeling it, it's just a change on the fly.
Well, just a little bit about program design. Depends on my client's goals. I try to focus it around that. So I do have programs for specific people that are geared towards them and what their goals are. But I do switch it up depending on how the workout goes or how their moods go.
And so you're doing program design. You're doing one-on-one. Obviously, the client's doing one-on-one stuff. So with the weight loss, I'm assuming you probably do nutrition planning.
No, I'm not a nutritionist.
Okay.
So let's get that out there right now. But everything I do suggest, and it is just a suggestion. It's real basic. Healthy things that I learned growing up in the industry.
Okay. So we can find you Instagram. We can find you Facebook. We can find your website coming. Do you have a LinkedIn? Are you on professional LinkedIn?
I am on LinkedIn.
Just first and last name?
First and last name.
Okay, we'll find that too. So, thoughts on, touch base on supplementation. You know, supplements are big in the fitness industry. Your thoughts on, you recommend them to clients?
I don't push supplements on clients.
Okay.
I'm real basic with my supplements. You know, there's a few that I recommend depending on your goals as well. But mostly, you know, I want you to take a multivitamin. Some fish oils, maybe some BCAAs, nothing else, and maybe some creatine at the most. And the last two was more, you know, if you want to go that route, you know, I'm more pushed like, you know, maybe a good multivitamin and some fish oils.
Okay, cool. So right now you are working at Joyride as well, right?
I'm doing Joyride.
So we've got Joyride episode 1.
Joy X.
Joy X, episode 1 with Rody Lorenz, Joyride founder, co-founder, owner. So check out episode 1 if you haven't. Where's that going for you? Do you want to build that more? Or you want to still do one-on-one stuff?
I'm doing 3 classes there right now. I'm doing 2 strictly boxing classes and 1 double X class that I do with George Kitt. I believe you'll have him on the show at some point as well.
We'll have George up here. Yep.
Yeah. Which is a real fun class. It's a half boxing, half full body hit session. So it's a real fun class. You know, I would love to build more hours around there if I can and have the opportunity. Right now I am a little bit busy. But we'll see where that goes. You know, I enjoy the classes. You know, believe it or not, they make me feel better.
Good. It's that high energy that you get to bring.
That high energy.
And that everybody else gets to bring.
And I mean, there's no feeling as an instructor better than, you know, getting a high off your own clients and the energy that they bring to you.
Right.
You know, when your clients bring as big or more energy than you're providing, it's a whole new level for the trainer.
And I found even for me, and then, you know, I don't do as high energy stuff as you do because I do a lot of rehab, prehab type of work. But even when I'm feeling like just run down for myself, because what we do is strenuous, especially if we're doing a lot of hands-on stuff or if you're doing a lot of clients. Obviously, you know, some people are doing 50 hours a week. You know, I know Troy's, you're up, what, 6 a.m. and you get home sometimes at 8, 9 o'clock at night?
I'm up at like 5 a.m., yeah.
So
4.
It's go, go, go. So the hard part is when you don't have that energy to give and you feel bad, but when your client comes in and they're in a great mood and they're ready for their workout.
It changes you around.
It helps pull you out of your rut too.
Yes,
and
big time.
You know that, you know, they're paying for this and this is a service I want to offer to them. So again, if you're looking for trainers, if you're working with somebody, make sure you're getting the most out of your workout. Real quick, I want you to touch base on, I had John the Dio, episode 2. You can check that episode out as well. Cell phones on the work floor. I know we're all guilty of it, you know, in the social media land today. So what is your takeaway from proper time? How much is appropriate when you're trying to film your clients?
Well, that's it. Listen, there's no guidelines to that. I mean, a trainer can overdo it. I've been guilty at times too to overdo it. But I do think there should be a happy medium. And it depends on the client. You know, some clients like the whole social media thing. I love promoting social media. I love people feeding into that. Sometimes my clients get hyped when they're on camera. You know, it gets them even more amped to work out.
Yeah.
But it depends on the client. So that's honestly it. You have to, you know, maybe discuss with your client or kind of read them and see how they take it.
Okay. I would point out, if somebody's doing an exercise that could be challenging, make sure you're there spotting.
Of course. You know, everything within reason, everything within timing.
Set the camera up or have somebody else film it, but you don't have to film it and, you know, neglect the spot, or, you know, maybe your client feels like you're on your phone the whole
obviously
session.
You don't want to put your client in jeopardy. So, I mean, everything within reason. Like I said, you know the times, the types of exercises, you know, when to ask somebody to do it if you're going to do it.
Okay, cool. And we'll go last question real quick. Where do you see yourself, or, you know, Troy Evolve Fitness 5 years down the road?
Oh, brother, if I can have my own gym, man, that'd be my dream come true.
So that's what you would really, you want your own gym?
I would love
all the overhead and all the responsibility that comes along with it?
I've been told to not even go that route, but you know what, man, my heart kind of wants it. I have some plans in my head, that along with some other things.
Okay, so what would a Troy Evolve gym design, like in your thought, you know, boxing area, obviously I'm going to assume.
Yeah,
what would you kind of have?
You know what? I'm not gonna answer that. I'm gonna show you guys that.
All right, I like that.
Give me some time. I'm gonna show you guys that. I have a whole picture in my head of what I want to provide you all with.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah,
I like it. All right, my man. Thank you very much for being on 4th episode of Own Your Shit. All right, guys.
Own that shit.
Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for upcoming episodes. Again, I don't know who we're gonna have, but they're all gonna be good.